What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Dominic Rich, and in today's video I'll be previewing the Group H fixture between Uruguay and South Korea. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. This fixture would actually be played on November 24th at the Education City Stadium. So guys, I'm gonna be winging this video like did the last one because I was doing some fancy editing for the earlier part of the series, but the time is really catching up to me. So I don't mean to explain myself, but I just have to. You know what I'm saying? It's just a little bit of manners. That's all. So let's talk about how each team qualified for the World Cup. For Uruguay, they placed third in South America's grueling World Cup qualifiers behind Brazil and Argentina after a late rally under their new coach, Diego Alonso. For South Korea, they topped their AFC second round group ahead of Lebanon, then went on to come in second in their third round group behind Iran, where they faced 5 Middle Eastern countries. So give it up to South Korea. They've already well conditioned for this World Cup because they were traveling back and forth from South Korea to the Middle East. So give it up to them for actually coming through the group as well. So let's get into some of the best moments for both teams in their FIFA World Cup history. So look, for Uruguay, they hosted the first ever World Cup, and the two-time champions are back for their 14th tournament. Uruguayan-born Diego Alonso took over from Oscar Tabarez last year to great success after La Celeste struggled to find momentum. With a well-balanced and highly rated squad, Uruguay remains a very dangerous team, and we know this. Look, 2002 co-hosts and semi-finalist South Korea are back after qualifying for every edition of the tournament since 1986. Talk about impressive. Under the expertise of Paulo Bento since 2018, the Taeguk Warriors will look to send a giant or two, because there's 2 giants in the team, in the group, I mean. There's Portugal and there's Uruguay. They would look to send them packing like they did to Germany in the 2018 World Cup. I don't mean to bring that up, for the German fans at all. I really don't. So guys, now it's time for legend appreciation post. So look, the legend from Uruguay, Diego Forlan, the legendary striker, played 112 times for La Celeste, scoring 36 times. His honors includes the 2010 World Cup Golden Ball and the Golden Boot. Diego Forlan remains one of my favorite players of all time. For South Korea, Park Ji-sung, the former Man United midfielder, made exactly 100 caps for the Taeguk Warriors, scoring 13 goals. He started the 2002 World Cup and also played at the 2006 and 2010 editions. Let's talk a bit about some head-to-head between Uruguay and South Korea. The teams have met each other 8 times. This includes 2 World Cup meetings in 1990 and 2010, both of which Uruguay won. The last game was an international friendly in 2018 where the Koreans won the game 2-1. So momentum is with South Korea right now. So let's talk a bit about the form for both teams going into the World Cup. So we're going to just go back and we're going to take a look at Uruguay first, and then we're going to take a look at South Korea. So just wanted to take a look at the recent fixtures. We see a lot of green already. That's a good thing, right? That is a good thing. So we scroll down. So we see 1 red, and they lost to Iran back in September. They defeat Canada in September as well, and they beat Panama 5-0. United States 0-0. 3-0 against Mexico in a friendly. Then let's move up to the World Cup qualifiers, where they finished off very, very strongly with 4 wins. It seems like under Oscar Tabarez, they just couldn't pick up the positive results. And as soon as Diego Alonso came in, the form just turned around. So look, let's take a look at South Korea's form. So it's fair to say that Uruguay in good touch, only a loss and a draw there, and they were both in the international friendly. So when it comes to the competitive fixture, we might see something else come out of Uruguay. So South Korea, the Taeguk Warriors. Let's take a look at their recent fixtures. So, wow, okay, we got some red out. I thought we were going to see just green. So look, they played a friendly November 11 against Iceland. They defeated them. defeated Cameroon back in September, 2-2 draw against Costa Rica, lost to Japan. And that might have been a different competition. So, maybe that don't hold a lot of weight, but defeated Hong Kong there in that competition as well. Yeah, we're not going to talk too much about that competition, but 4-1 against Egypt, 2-2 against Paraguay, 2-0 against Chile. So they know how to beat the top oppositions as well. They did lose 5-1 to Brazil, however, and 1-0 to the UAE there. So look, that's actually World Cup qualification there. They lost to the United Arab Emirates. So that's not a good result, but a lot of positive results there at the beginning of 2022. And they would like to channel some of that energy over to the World Cup. So look, let's move on, man, and let's talk a bit about players to watch for both teams. So let's go, and we're going to actually start with Uruguay. And the thing is, right, this Uruguayan squad is so stacked up that I didn't write down individual players. I actually just wanted to analyze this team because they're so experienced and they have so much quality. Let's first start with the goalkeepers. Fernando Muslera is no longer the number one goalkeeper, but we know he's capable. Sergio Rocher is now the man between the sticks, so he's going to need to bring his A game. Jose Maria Jimenez and Diego Godin. Ronald Arroyo. The defensive stock looks good. Guillermo Varela, Matias Oliveira. They're stacked up. Matias Viña. And we have a Jose Luis Rodriguez. He is not the one that won the World Cup back in 1930. Martin Cáceres, and of course, Sebastian Coates. These guys have been around for a very, very long time. Martin Cáceres, man, he's been around since about 2006. The man is a veteran. So the defense is very stacked up. Ronald Arroyo would be one of the standout players to watch there. So, look, Uruguay, they have the weapons to get the job done. Are they going to do it? Or are they going to pull off Argentina or Germany? We're going to the midfield, man. I'm sorry to make fun of Argentina and Germany, but it's just weird, man. So the midfield looks good. Fede Valverde, along with Lucas Torreira, back from the last World Cup. Rodrigo Bentancur has been having a great season. And you have supplementary players there like Nico de la Cruz, who play in Argentina. Matias Vecino from the last World Cup. Manuel Ugarte is, fairly new face around the squad these days, only 21 years old. So, look, we go down. Forwards, powerful. Luis Suarez, man, 35 years old. Last World Cup for Luis Suarez, the controversial figure, is back. Who's going to bite the dust? Is it going to be Uruguay or their opponents? Good one, right? Edison Cavani, 35 years old as well, and he is like Suarez, veteran in the team and a clinical striker, but no longer at the top of their game. But you know who's on top of his game? Darwin Núñez. So I think if they do play two of these guys, it won't be Cavani and Suarez together, but Darwin Núñez, and maybe one of them is also Facundo Pellistri, who plays for Man United, but for the Uruguayan team has been getting the opportunities. Look out for this player. Georgian de Arrascaeta was at Flamengo, I think. I don't know if he's still at Flamengo. Wow, he's still at Flamengo. So he's actually a very, very good player. Maxi Gomez, Trabzonspor these days. And a lot of quality in this Uruguayan team. And South Korea going to have a rough time against this team. Or maybe not. We talk about South Korea. I do have some names listed. I really had to. So, look, goalkeeper is going to need to be on his A game. Kim Sung-gyu, right? But we're not going to talk about him too much. Let's talk about the quality that they have in defense. Kim Min-jae having a great season with Napoli there, man. Kim Jin-soo with the experience as well. And also, you cannot actually talk about players to watch from South Korea and you don't talk about these players. Lee Jae-sung, been around a while. Hwang In-beom. These are some of the recognizable names, actually, because these names are very similar and it's very, very hard to remember who is who. Seriously, it is. Unless you're Son. You see what I mean? but they have guys that play in Europe like Kwang Chan-hun and Lee Kang-in. So they do have a lot of quality. See, he's, well, no longer in Europe, but Lee Kang-in is at Mallorca these days. So, look, yep, this is the same player. Kwang Chang-hun, he used to play for Dijon. I know I was right. I was kind of second-guessing myself there. But Sung Hun Min, he's dealing with a injury, facial injury. He took an operation there, but he should put on a mask and he'll be ready to go. Hwang Hee-chan has not been in good form. He's going to need to flick the switch. Then you got Hwang Weijo, brought by Nottingham Forest, but sent out on loan at Olympiacos. He could be a force to be reckoned with as well. So Na Sang-ho, his name sounds like he has North Korean family, right? But he is, a player that plays locally, and South Korea could be an element of surprise in this group, which you could call a group of death. So these are my players to watch. So guys, time for some fun facts. Uruguay are the first country to win the World Cup as debutants. I think I was cheating with that one, right? But Italy also did it in 1934 and went on to win it again in 1938. So very cool fun fact, right? Bit lazy if you ask me. But South Korea have achieved the best World Cup finish by any Asian team by placing fourth at the 2002 World Cup on home soil. I think these fun facts are very lazy, man, but it's still good facts though. So it's time for me to let you know my prediction. So look, when I was coming up with a prediction here, analyzing how things are going at the World Cup and everything, I think this is a game we could actually see a surprise result. The Asian teams have been getting results. And when I say that, I'm not talking about Qatar. I'm talking about Japan, Saudi Arabia, knocking off Argentina and Germany. World Cup winners. Could South Korea do the same thing against two-time world champions Uruguay? Could they? Iran was the other Asian team. They got picked off as well by England. We're not gonna rub it in. We're not gonna rub it in. And Australia got smashed up by France. But South Korea could draw some inspiration from what Japan and Saudi Arabia did. This Uruguayan team is stacked up, just like the German team, just like the Argentina team. But I think it's a bit more settled. It looks, a lot more balanced in my opinion. But is Diego Alonso going to get his 11 right? That's another thing. But South Korea are going to go there and they're going to have a lot of belief that they could cause a big stir in this group. And just like the way I can't remember all the South Korean players' names, it's going to be hard to keep track on who is who on this South Korean team. Yeah, you're going to recognize Son. Yeah, you know him. He's a familiar face. But are you going to know the other players? You're not. You're not. I'm telling you. They're going to confuse you. And we saw what South Korea did to Japan back in 2018. They took him out. They say, hey, we're going home. You're going home too. And I think they're going to take down one of these. Look, even though I predicted Portugal and Uruguay to get out of the group, I have a feeling something crazy is going to happen in this group as well. Bring on the upsets. Bring it on. The South Korea team are not going to stop running. They're going to press for the entire match, even though Uruguay is going to have a lot of the ball. I think South Korea, they're going to take the game to Uruguay and they could surprise them. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. Uruguay, they're going to need to be very, very clinical. If they don't learn anything from Argentina and Germany, they're going to need to be clinical. Because those teams took the lead. And Japan and Saudi Arabia came from behind. Could we see a similar situation here? I'm predicting that we will. A draw would be an upset. A win would send more shockwaves to the football world. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. Guys, share your prediction. That's a surprise prediction, though. That is indeed a surprise prediction. So let me know your thoughts down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Guys, I've been doing the videos like this for the last set of games because I'm running out of time and energy for real. So thanks to all those who continue to support the thing. At least I'm putting out a preview for every game, something that not everyone's doing. I don't think anyone's doing it. So, you know, it's just a challenge. And I want to complete the challenge. I don't want to be defeated. So, guys, I'm your boy Dominic Rich. Until next time, peace out. Rich Squad. Peace.